So I've been doing a lot of reading lately about chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, and I just finished reading a book called Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, A Treatment Guide, the second edition, by Erica Varillo. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not sure if any of you have read it. It's a very good book. It's comprehensive. It's 817 pages. This is no light read. It is an encyclopedia of sorts when it comes to chronic fatigue syndrome. And there is a section in the book that I found especially interesting that reviews a bunch of the different existing protocols for chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME. So various treatment approaches for people who have this illness. You're going to find out all sorts of stuff about different protocols, and you didn't even have to read the 817-page book. It feels like a win-win for you and for me, because I got to learn it too, and now I get to have fun doing this video with you. And I also have a bonus bit to add in here. So in addition to what I'm sharing from what I took away from this incredible book, I also reached out to some people in the ME CFS community. I asked actually in my Facebook group that I run what people had tried, what people were aware of, what people had heard good things about, and what had been successful for them. So I'm going to throw in a bit here of what some of you guys who are living with and working to recover from this illness shared with me about this. So hang in there. There's some good stuff coming. Getting the glasses on, getting serious. Here we go. So let's take a look at ME/CFS treatment protocols. Again, this is taken directly from Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, A Treatment Guide, second edition. So protocols are based on theories, which is probably why there are so many of them emerging for chronic fatigue syndrome. Not only are there different protocols, it's going to depend who you're seeing. So a conventional doctor will probably treat symptoms. So they will give you prescriptions for pain, things for sleep, stimulants for energy, and so forth. If you're seeing a nutritionist, they will likely evaluate nutritional deficiencies and potentially prescribe some supplements. So the author of this book is saying that a CFS ME specialist will, in most cases, address the underlying mechanisms of the illness and offer treatments that increase the efficiency of cellular energy in addition to palliative care. So a more recent perspective is that every system in the body affects every other system in the body. So we stop treating our body like a car that's broken down. You know, a car breaks down, we just replace that part. But we're starting to see and appreciate that everything is interacting together. So the nervous system, the immune system, the endocrine system, the vascular system, the digestive system, they're all intertwined, and each one is assisting, or in the case of illness, impeding the other one, or the other ones. I absolutely love this quote. I think it sums up any CFS treatment perfectly, and also why it's so confusing for all of us when we're trying to figure out what we should be doing. So the first protocol we'll take a look at is the Bateman protocol. So the Bateman protocol came from Dr. Lucinda Bateman. She's an internist specializing in the treatment of CFS ME. She opened her fatigue consultation clinic in the year 2000, and since that time has evaluated more than 1,000 patients. So she has a fairly traditional pharmaceutical-based approach to treatment. She starts by treating comorbid or secondary infections and then moves on to symptomatic treatment. So in the book, it breaks down various medications, various things she recommends for different symptoms, whether it's orthostatic intolerance or sleep issues, pain, low energy, and so forth, depression, all sorts of things that she prescribed to deal with these symptoms. Now, we all have a slightly different situation going on, I think, and we're all going to respond to different things. So this might be the perfect approach for a lot of people. And she's seen a lot of patients. I imagine she's seeing progress. So there's got to be something to this. It doesn't really resonate with my own experience, because I have found that treating symptoms, chasing symptoms, relying on pharmaceuticals never really got me anywhere. But that's just me. One thing from her protocol that does resonate with my own is that she very much gets her patients to focus on pacing. And I think a lot of us can appreciate that this situation we get ourselves in where we push too hard and then we crash, it's sort of one step forward, two steps back. We're never really getting anywhere. So I definitely do appreciate that. Dr. Bateman also does encourage people to do movement or exercises while lying down and seated in very small increments. She says start with 30 seconds and slowly build up to 5 minutes, depending on your conditioning and where you should start. If you're interested in learning more, here are the details for Dr. Bateman's fatigue consultation clinic. You can take a screenshot, and I will also have her website listed in this video's description. All right, second one. And to mix things up for you, I even put on a new shirt and gave you a new view. All right, protocol number 2. We're gonna look at the Enlander protocol. So Dr. Eric Enlander is a native Irishman from Belfast. He came to New York as assistant professor of medicine at Columbia University and then became associate director of nuclear medicine at New York University. He is the founder of ME CFS Center at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City. And his protocol is based on treating the immune system dysfunction that underlies CFS-ME. Now, this book goes over a bunch of the treatments used by Dr. Enlander, and a lot of it is pharmaceuticals and supplements. So one is hepapressin. It's an amino acid complex. Immunoresist is an amino acid food additive, oral capsule that you take daily. It's thought to be involved in the immune system and may diminish brain fog and assist with concentration and short-term memory. Immuno Plus is given along with Immune Resist. It contains folinic acid along with other amino acids. Dr. Enlander believes that the methylation cycle is part of the CFS-ME dysfunction. And then Catapult contains phosphatidyl, I don't know how to say all these, serine and cat's claw. It's a non-prescription OTC supplement also used to diminish brain fog, and Neurontin is a prescription drug used as an anti-epileptic in grand mal seizures in CFS-ME. The abnormal impulses that come from the brain are thought to be suppressed by Neurontin, allowing muscle fibers to be less fatigued. So if this sounds like an approach to treatment or something that resonates with you, here is Dr. Enlander's information if you want to note that down. And again, his website will be listed in this video's description. All right, moving on to the third one. Now I feel like I should be doing something entertaining to make sure you're still awake. I cannot believe I put this stuff out on the actual internet. Okay, next we've got Dr. Charles Lapp. He works with the Hunter Hopkins protocol, and Dr. Lapp is the director of the Hunter Hopkins Center in Charlotte in the US, a nationally recognized clinic specializing in the treatment of CFS-ME and fibromyalgia. So the Hunter Hopkins protocol pioneered the stepwise approach, and it's a protocol designed to help the patient heal naturally through proper nutrition, low-level graded activities, medical management of symptoms, and supportive therapies. So here are some of the current treatments used in the Hunter Hopkins protocol. Okay, for sleep, Dr. Lapp prescribes or advocates the use of sedatives, melatonin, and exposure to bright light in the morning. He considers sleep the most important symptom to treat in ME/CFS, which definitely resonates with what I've been through. I really had to put a lot of focus on sleep because without that recovery time, I wasn't getting anywhere. And Dr. Lapp insists that pain is the next most important symptom to address. So he has some non-pharmaceutical methods such as increased water and salt intake or hot and cold packs, tub soaks, massage, chiropractor, acupuncture, and so forth. They're all emphasized, but many patients of his require pharmacological therapy as well. For fatigue, Dr. Lapp finds that a small dose of Prozac or Zoloft may help some patients with daytime fatigue. Dr. Lapp has also found some success with drugs that raise the body's dopamine levels, such as Wellbutrin and others. And for headaches, he uses Diamox and calcium channel blockers, which are thought to increase cerebral blood flow. For vascular type headaches, such as migraines, he uses Midrin and triptans. For orthostatic intolerance, he says many people with ME/CFS experience increased heart rate, very low blood pressure, and even potentially fainting with standing or prolonged sitting. So therapy begins with increased water and salt intake, followed by a variety of medications, depending on the results of some various testing. In the Hunter Hopkins protocol, there are also some investigational therapies such as Ampligen. So HHC was the first medical office to receive approval from the FDA to provide the experimental treatment Ampligen with his patients. He also uses a fair bit of supplements in his treatment, but he advises people to only try one new supplement at a time, which allows the patient to evaluate it for its effectiveness, which I think is incredible because I took a ton of supplements when I first got sick, and I really don't know if any of them were working. It's really hard to tell. I pretty much started them all at once and stopped them all at once. And yeah, so I really like this aspect of his approach. He also suggests taking yearly supplement holidays. So that is not taking the supplement for several weeks to test whether it is still effective. So detailed lists of recommended supplements for each protocol can be found in this book, should anyone be interested. I'm not going to list them all here. The lists are pretty long. The Hunter Hopkins protocol also has a focus on diet, which emphasizes consuming a lot of fresh fruit, vegetables, and light meats, such as chicken and fish, and to minimize sugar, caffeine, alcohol, neurotoxins such as aspartame and MSG, and tobacco. And many of their patients with irritable bowel syndrome have been found to be sensitive to dairy and to wheat, so these may be withheld from the diet to see if it makes a difference. The Hunter Hopkins protocol also looks at comorbid factors such as allergies, chronic infections, chemical sensitivities, and other things that need to be treated when present. And he looks at stress, and he refers his patients to a counselor skilled in helping people with chronic illness. So if any of this speaks to you, sounds like a treatment approach that might work for you or that you'd want to learn more about, here is the information. For me, this one really does sound promising. Again, just for me, for my specific stuff that I had going on in my body, I like his really holistic approach. He seems to do a little bit of symptom treatment while also getting at a lot of the root causes, and he goes at things that I consider obvious, like diet. I think you really have to address diet, in my opinion and my experience, if you want to get past virtually any illness. So yeah, this one seems like it has a lot of promise to me. All right, fourth one. You hanging in there? You still with me? Wake up. You're almost there. Important stuff to learn. Hang in there. The next one we'll look at is the Pall protocol. So Dr. Mountain Pall is a PhD, not an MD, so he's not a medical doctor. He theorizes that chronic stages of CFS is driven by a vicious cycle of oxidative stress, in which the basic mechanisms that are meant to control pathogens don't turn off. So the result is that oxidants in your body run amok, creating havoc in the cell's energy cycles and increasing inflammation. So the protocol described here in this book, the Pall protocol, is based on antioxidant treatments which break the vicious cycle of oxidative stress, as well as other agents that act to lower other parts of the cycle, such as lowering inflammatory responses, improving mitochondrial function, and lowering excessive NMDA activity. He does put out a word of caution, though, in that taking large quantities of antioxidants can actually increase oxidative stress. So it's a bit of a balancing act. So treatment, from what I can see, is essentially a laundry list of various antioxidants and other supplements. So the book does not actually list contact info for Dr. Pall, but I would imagine a quick Google search and you would be able to find him if you're interested in learning more. And the fifth one, oh, you're doing great. We're almost there, moving along. Kind of interesting, right? Super helpful stuff. We're learning. Learning is fun. Good for you. Good for you for sticking around this long. So Dr. Jacob Teitelbaum is a board-certified internist and medical director of the National Fibromyalgia and Fatigue Centers and Optimize Health and Wellness. So he is an advocate of integrative medicine, which combines complementary modalities such as supplements, acupuncture with conventional medicine, which is essentially pharmaceuticals. He uses the SHINE protocol, which is an acronym that stands for sleep, hormones, infections, nutritional supplements, and exercise. So these are the 5 main areas that the Teitelbaum protocol addresses in their treatment. So the book provides a long list of supplements and pharmaceuticals to address the first 4 items in the SHINE protocol, so the sleep, hormones, infections, and nutritional supplements. And exercise, they recommend after 10 weeks addressing those first 4 things. So after you've spent 10 weeks addressing all those 4, then you slowly increase your exercise and say that you should be able to by this point without being wiped out the next day. So if you're interested in learning more about the Teitelbaum protocol, here is the information to learn more. So those were the 5 treatment protocols that were taken directly from the book Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, a Treatment Guide, 2nd edition. And as promised, here are a few bonus options that came from recommendations from some of you guys, people in the ME CFS community who had experience with some of these various protocols or clinics. And whereas these first 5, I believe, were all based in the US, these ones I'm about to just very briefly share with you here are located in a few different countries, and a couple of them have online options, so you could do them from anywhere. So the first is at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital, which is obviously in Liverpool in the UK. So the Liverpool Chronic Fatigue Syndrome Service is a specialist program with a multidisciplinary team of medical professionals such as nurses, occupational therapists, psychologists, and so forth. So it is a regional center accepting referrals from all over the northwest of England. So if you are in this region, this might be an option for you. So it was set up more than 25 years ago by Dr. Nye, a physician who became interested in researching chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME. He follows what they call the NICE guideline, N-I-C-E, and this guideline involves focusing on things such as sleep, pacing, diet, managing setbacks, symptom management, cognitive behavioral therapy, graded exercise therapy, and other activity management programs, among other things. So if you're interested in checking it out, visiting their website, which is listed here and also in this video description, would be the best place to start. Another one that was recommended to me quite a few times is called the Optimum Health Clinic. So this is another ME CFS clinic that, according to their website, over the past 15 years has treated over 5,000 patients in 40 different countries. So it is based in London, but this makes me think that they have online or remote treatment options as well. So it looks like your best bet, if you're interested in the Optimum Health Clinic or in just learning more, is to visit their website, and then you can order an information pack for free and then book a free 15-minute chat to discuss your possible way forward with the clinic. From what I can take away from their website, their focus seems to be on psychology and on nutrition. Another one that was recommended is the Active Health Clinic. So this is located in Victoria in Australia. Now, when I went to learn more about them on their website, unfortunately their website is currently under maintenance. So there's no information available there, but they do have a Facebook page. So I will list the link to the Facebook page in this video description if you live in this area of Australia and you're interested in learning more. Another one that was suggested is called CFS Health, and according to their website, they are the first health center in Australia that was solely dedicated to helping people with ME, CFS, and fibromyalgia. As far as I can tell, it's a completely online program. So even though it's based somewhere in Australia, I'm not even sure where, the patients or the people who utilize the program can do it from anywhere in the world. So they have a team which includes a health and physical well-being coach, a mindset coach, a resident medical consultant and nutrition expert, and a client success mentor. So their focus in their treatment is to build a baseline and make consistent progress without constant setbacks. So use your brain's cognition to ease anxiety, stress, and worry, let go of emotions such as guilt and shame that are holding you back, build more strength and stamina in your body, set boundaries and voice them, regulate your nervous system, and then integrate back into the life that you want. Another protocol that has been suggested is the ANS Rewire. So it's based out of Australia, but as far as I can tell, you can do it online from anywhere in the world. So the ANS Rewire recovery program for ME and CFS and fibromyalgia is something that was put together by Dan Neufer, am I saying that right? He's the author of the book CFS Unraveled and Discover Hope. So Dan compiled all his research, experience, and training into an online program that took him about 2 years to develop. The program consists of a series of videos and audio tracks that are rolled out over a period of 6 to 8 weeks for participants and include a strong educational base around what is required to normalize ANS function again. So that's the autonomic nervous system. So the program has specific brain training exercises customizable by the participants to suit their needs. There's also a range of physical strategies to reduce ANS triggering, retrain the nervous system, and promote healing from the deep state of physical dysfunction experienced in ME, CFS, and fibromyalgia, according to their website. All right, just two more. So second to last here is the ME, CFS, and fibromyalgia self-help program. So this is a non-profit organization offering a suite of low-cost and free self-help courses, plus other resources for people affected by ME, CFS, and fibromyalgia. So founded in 1998, it has conducted hundreds of self-help groups, teaching thousands of people how to manage their illness. So the program was created by Bruce Campbell, PhD. Dr. Campbell is a recovered CFS patient who, before becoming ill, was a consultant to self-help programs for chronic illness at Stanford University Medical School. So if you're interested in learning more, you can check out their website and see if any of their courses or programs might be right for you. And the last one I'll just briefly touch on here is the Gupta program. Gupta program? Not sure how to say it. It's a brain retraining program. So according to their website, it's a powerful, revolutionary neuroplasticity and holistic health program for chronic conditions. So the Gupta program is another online program. So it's supposed to be a friendly, easy to use online brain retraining course for recovery from many different chronic conditions. So if you're interested in learning more about the Gupta program, you can check out their website. So what are your thoughts? It's all about sharing information here. So if you have any thoughts on any of these protocols, if you're aware of them, if you've tried any of them, just any feedback or any information you have that you could share at all would be really helpful. I'd love to know what you think about all of this. I'm sure others would as well. And if you thought this was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe, and I will see you next week. That's all for today. Take care, friends.